to a minimum of 30% by 2030. Now, members of Parliament unanimously passed the Affirmative Action Gender Bill 2024, and then a process started in 1998 to create an equitable society and mandate efforts to address the social, cultural, political, economic, and educational imbalances in private and public sectors. How does this empower women in business? Edna Frimpong, an entrepreneur, public speaker, and author of the book, The Shoemaker Girl, joins me in studio to discuss this. Happy to have you here in the studio to talk about the affirmative action law. They say it's a male-dominated world. Do you agree?
Well, at first I used to agree, but now I think the narrative has changed, and it keeps on changing, even before the affirmative action.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know your story, I mean, essentially you're a shoemaker, right?
Yeah.
And in your book, you talk about your challenges in breaking the ice in a trade that is considered for men. Tell us about it.
Okay, so first, when you tell people this is what you do, they doubt. You have to be at the office, be a lawyer, be a doctor. And so until you see the finished product, then they get to believe you. And I think, fortunately, I grew up in an environment where there are a lot of shoemakers around. And so they accepted me, but the outside world was quite different, even on LinkedIn or social media. And people get to see that. Why? Until you change their perception about it, then they're okay to accept who you are. And so sometimes I think your result or your works will make them believe you.
Okay, so tell us a bit more about, I mean, the sort of challenges. I mean, if you're in the same profession with a male counterpart, how do you have been treated differently?
I think maybe they will accept me at once. Okay, I mean, it's normal. This job is for me, it's for the men, so it's okay. But the woman tag comes inside. Hi, are you able to hammer? Are you able to sew? Because they feel like it's just for the male counterpart, but it shouldn't be that. And I think it's from the foundation, our homes. We grew up like that. That's why things like this happen. But then I was fortunate to get a father who was able to support me because that's his business, and so he supported me in that.
All right. I know this affirmative action law was a topic for conversation yesterday.
Yes.
Was it on Twitter?
On LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn,
Yeah.
where you were able to, engage some of the MPs, the lawmakers, on the law that was passed. What's the feeling among female entrepreneurs about the passage of this law, do you think?
I think a lot of people still haven't heard about it. And so we need more of advocacy. But I think yesterday, I personally learned a lot from that whole process. That yes, it's a good thing. It's not just a norm. Yeah, another act has been passed. But then the opportunities it will create for we women, not just women in business, women in leadership and all as well. I mean, it's a good thing. So yeah, we all have to embrace it.
Yeah, again, we don't know the scope of this law. I mean, what it says specifically about women in business. But we know that if we, for instance, have more women in the
shoemaking,
in Parliament, for instance, they'll be able to advocate for more opportunities for women. I just also want to talk about the argument that, you know, people should be treated based on merit and not given undue advantage over others. You see that as a solid argument?
I think I heard that a lot. But you see, the affirmative action bill is not just there for people who are mediocre. No. It's there for those who are qualified. And so even if you're a woman and you're not qualified for the position, for the job, it's not for you. It's for those who are qualified. So all we are saying is that if I have the skill, if I have the experience and the certificate, put me there. That's exactly what the bill is standing for.
Okay. And so how can women entrepreneurs leverage this to their advantage?
Well, I think I learned they're going to set a committee and to then start with the advocacy and all that. But I also wish and pray that we, the entrepreneurs, also need to also look out for this, read more about that, know exactly what the bill, the act entails, so that we will be able to know our ins and outs. Because if you don't know anything, you'll be out of the system. And then again, I know that the startup bill is still in Parliament. It hasn't been passed yet. So imagine if they pass that bill. Those among the affirmative committee and their women could champion more of women in business advocacies.
But is the law enough? Is that what you need right now?
It will never be enough, but I think it's a push. It's a step in the right direction. Because we might have all the laws and it will still be lacking. And I think that we just need to take advantage of the law being passed.
All right. I was reading bits of your book the other time, and you talk about some of the other things you had to do to be able to break the ice. For instance, your use of LinkedIn,
Sure.
which you're encouraging, like that's a platform women can use. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're not given you the opportunity, you create yours. So when I was growing up, I was like, okay, it will be difficult for you to blow on Instagram or even Facebook or which other platform. So unless you get some celebrity to push you out. And that's okay. LinkedIn is a platform that you can blow out more easily. And so I leverage on that. I came up with, okay, this is what I do. And then, it's a professional platform. And so they accepted me who I am. And then because it's a platform where people share their experiences, their industry journey, I also use that platform to share what the shoemaking industry entails, what we do there. And yes, people accepted me who I am. And they still accept me, yeah.
Yeah. And so what other tips would you give to women? I mean, based on your experiences working as a shoemaker, what would you tell them?
Well, sometimes you need to break the eye. If you think you are good at something, it's not about being at the office 9 to 5. If you think you are good at sewing, please take it well and leverage on the digital era that we are in. And then again, if you can't do it all alone, look for people and do it with them.
All right. Thank you so much for passing through the studio. That was Edna Frimpong, the shoemaker girl. Also, she's a public speaker and the author of the book, The Shoemaker Girl. Her thoughts on the affirmative action law that was passed by Parliament just last week and the prospects it has for female entrepreneurs. We'll certainly see how that plays out in the coming days. Thank you so much, Edna.
Thank you.
Well, as the world's largest floating